Florida is coming to a head, and the candidates are unloading with everything they've got.
He's been a legislative zero. I think I've been a legislative hero.
I mean, that's Congressman Grayson. That's what he's known for, is a lot of bully and bluster and name calling.
We'll take you through the hot races that will be decided tomorrow in Florida and beyond. And our pollster, Matt Towery, shows us how race card politics may shake up the race to the White House.
The signs are a great way of letting people know who I am.
Plus, we'll take a closer look at those campaign yard signs and show you why they work. And in our humor segment, we have a new radio show with some very special guests.
Everybody loves you, and so do I.
Thank you.
This is Money, Power, and Politics. So some hot battles will be settled tomorrow night, and we'll start with the future of Senator John McCain.
If you want to be the man, you have to beat the man.
Yeah, he's facing a primary challenge for his Senate seat in Arizona, and he's hoping he can talk some schmack tomorrow night.
And what you gonna do when John McCain and all his McCainiacs run wild on you?
Well, we predict McCain will pull this one out and live to fight another day. Meanwhile, here in Florida, Debbie Wasserman Schultz is in the fight of her life. The Bernie Sanders movement is trying to move her out of Congress with Tim Canova. We predict Wasserman Schultz will also win because her South Florida district is not exactly Bernie Sanders country. And also tonight in the presidential race, Libertarian Gary Johnson is trying to make his move. And the PAC supporting Johnson has a pretty interesting ad.
There's Hillary, who's like a Monopoly player using a get-out-of-jail-free card, then a rig an election card and make millions on political favors card. And Trump, who's like if your racist uncle got drunk and ran for president, then the nation got drunk and said, that guy should have nuclear bombs.
Well, it's trying to convince people they would not be throwing away their votes by going for Johnson.
Look. If America is Gotham City, then Hillary is the mob and Trump is the Joker. The mob's always there. It's corrupt, but at least you know what you're getting. The Joker just got here. He's creating total chaos, and you don't know what he'll do next, but you know it's going to be hell.
Johnson could take off in this if he gets into the national debates. And a Quinnipiac poll found more than 60% of voters want him in those debates. But he's topping out around 10 or 11% right now, and he needs 15% to get on that national debate stage. So the next couple of weeks are critical for Johnson's hopes of getting in. The first debate, by the way, is September the 26th. Of course, tomorrow, August 30th, is a big night for Florida and other states. And in just a couple of minutes, we will show you how some of the key races are playing out. But first, we want to take you behind the scenes. You've seen the political yard signs sprouting up just about everywhere you drive and look. So we want to take a couple of minutes to show you why those signs work, why they look the way they do, and how they come together. This plant in Tampa pumps out up to 30,000 signs per day. Paper, plastic, and stickers. And tons of bread and butter lawn signs to feed politicians hungry for votes.
Everything quadruples in election time.
Tom Tuckey runs Good Guys Printing.
Everybody in our industry works hard.
And in campaign season, it turns into a munitions factory, supplying Republicans, Democrats, and independents with their staples of war.
Salaried people work 75, 80 hours a week.
Tom runs the company.
I have to be that unifying force that they get mad at because I've got to push, 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 push.
And sometimes the designers push back.
I got a green Hulk of me in the back. I guess I was mad that day.
It all starts with the order. Tom connects with candidates in Florida and across the nation by advertising on search engines.
We have tens of thousands of keywords, and that's how we grow our business.
By 11 a.m., the phone is ringing off the hook, and designers in the art room bring visions to life.
A little sunrise instead of the swoosh. It's like sunrise is coming up and it's early. Yeah.
They know what works and are remarkably patient and polite.
And the ones who like Seraph, what did you ever give them what for?
Even when you hang over their shoulders and say the dumbest stuff that comes to mind.
What about vote off and vote early?
Yeah, that would be good. That would be really good.
Well, Tom says they're wired for patience because some of their clients can be rather demanding.
Almost every politician asks us for something that defies the laws of physics about this time of year. I want 2,000 signs can have in 2 days.
Sounds like some of their promises to voters.
I don't want to comment on that.
And so goes the business of working for politicians in the heat of campaigns.
We've had stuff on the press, and then people have made changes.
You're telling me that some of the politicians you deal with will flip-flop?
I would say that they aggressively change their minds.
And so the design goes into a work order. If it's just a 1 or 2 color sign and the candidate wants a lot of them, it goes to the silkscreen plant. They use a stencil, then coat the mesh around it in ink. If it's a button or bumper sticker, the order heads to the digital plant.
Every day is the same thing, but different.
That's veteran sticker slicer Chris Raymond, who can cut signs in his sleep.
A couple 100,000, I imagine, at least. Ever get old? A little bit.
The full-color yard signs head over to Tim and Joe, the printers who press each other.
I would say I would pick on Tim for, not being fast enough.
Speed it along, Tim. Well, come on.
Yeah, you can
speed up to a crawl here and get me those sign orders.
Exactly.
They say it's all in good fun, and they take a lot of pride in what they do.
On the weekends, do you ever load up the family in the car and just drive around and admire the political signs?
Oh yeah, well, you see them everywhere you go.
Right now, we're just starting a new job.
If you could think of your desktop printer with your little cyan, magenta, yellow cartridge, we have the same thing here. It's just kind of on steroids. They're much bigger presses.
100 double-sided signs we can get out in about 20 minutes.
And again, they go out to local, state, and national campaigns on both sides of the aisle.
These are going out to the office up in Rhode Island.
As more money pours into the campaigns, the price of signs have gone way down over the past 5 years.
I mean, the value now compared to what they got 4 or 6 years ago, you can't compare it. They get so many more signs for the same amount of money.
Advancements in technology make it far more efficient.
Everything just keeps driving down. Now, I'm in an arms race.
And so are his customers who need these signs to get out their name.
Signs are a great way of letting people know who I am. If they don't know who's running for the local offices, if the signs give them an opportunity to say, yes, this person, I've seen their signs, I want to look them up.
Well, Tom says yard signs work because in most races, especially the local ones down ballot, name recognition is everything.
When you see a sign over and over and over, there's an implication of success. There's an implication of support.
And the key is to make it pop and stand out with clean type and bold color combination.
A bad, cluttered sign, your mind shuts down. Ah! I don't want to look at that.
Well, Tom says clean, simple, pretty is key, or a picture or face that may catch your attention.
I'm Vincent Schiavelli. I want my face everywhere. Big signs. Do you try to talk him out of it?
In that case, I wouldn't.
What about highest office of the land?
That's a little scary. I don't know if I want him pushing a nuclear button.
You don't want anybody pushing a nuclear button.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Preferably not.
Well, Tom and his team say they have a lot of fun as they design, load, print, slice, count, box, and ship their signs to the front lines.
Constant go, go, go.
Of thousands of campaigns.
Before you know it, it's time for bed and time to get up and do it again.
Okay, check out our YouTube channel for more work behind the scenes of 2016. Search for Craig Patrick's Money, Power, and Politics and click subscribe. You'll also find our investigations of money and politics, as well as our satire and parody segments, which brings us to this. Here, what did you want to say?
Good riddance.
You're not a nice person.
Yeah, you won't believe who called into our new radio show and how it played out. Okay, well, tonight we're making a slight programming change. On Monday nights, we've brought you the Battle of Tampa Bay with our political squares. But tonight, we're going to mix it up with one of our new humor segments. It turns out we also do a little radio show where we mix sports and politics, and we get some pretty special guests to call in from time to time. You never know what's going to happen here, so here you go. Here's a clip from our last show.
Time now for Political Sports Talk with Craig Patrick and Merissa Lynn.
Welcome to another round of Political Sports Talk.
Yeah, we already have callers. Let's go to William Jefferson Blythe on line 1. You're on the air.
I love women.
That sounds an awful lot like Bill Clinton.
My mother named me William Jefferson Blythe III.
Can we just call you Bill?
Do it.
What if we called you Bubba?
Shut up.
So what did you call into our show tonight for?
I called for advice.
What's wrong?
I screwed up my car.
What happened?
We're stuck in the ditch.
Okay, hold on. We'll try to get you some help.
All right, let's do that. Look, Don on line 2. I don't know what you just heard, but you know Clinton is stuck in a ditch.
I fully understand.
Can you pick him up?
No.
Do it.
No.
I got whacked.
Then there's something wrong with you. You're certainly not very good.
This is getting out of hand.
Yeah, let's bring in George on line 3. You're on the air.
I'm George W. Bush.
Wait a minute. How do we know that's really him?
Yeah, say something only George W. Bush would say.
Yeah.
Too many OBGYNs aren't able to practice their love with women all across this country.
Yeah, that's him. No doubt about it. That's him.
This is Merissa.
Everybody loves you and so do I.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. He called with a message for Don here. What did you want to say?
Good riddance.
You're not a nice person.
Shut up.
Let me say something.
Whoa.
Wait, okay, here we, let's say what, George, can you just endorse Don so that he can help Bill?
I'm absolutely adamantly opposed to that.
You're certainly not very good.
I find it very interesting that when the heat got on, you dug yourself a hole.
I'd like help.
Bill, hasn't Donald Trump already given you enough help with all the politically damaging things he said this summer?
Until the end of the summer, I hadn't thought I was coming back.
And what about the emails?
Part of a larger pattern of errors.
Just don't do it again.
Okay. So Clinton drove into a ditch, Trump's off script, and Bush won't help.
So where do we go from here?
Well, Howard on line 4, take us down the path.
Not only are we going to New Hampshire, Tom Harkin, we're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. And we're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Yeah!
Yeah, what better way to send it off than
Yeah!
higher? Yeah! We'll see you next week. There you have it, our new radio show, and you can call in on this as well, future shows. Tell us what's on your mind. The number is 813-870-9656. By the way, in other news, we have to take a moment tonight to send condolences to Anthony Weiner.
He is wrong! The gentleman is wrong!
Yeah, the hot-tempered, disgraced former congressman, best known for tweeting pictures of his crotch and trading icky messages with his flings and calling himself Carlos Danger, finally crossed the line long after he quit Congress.
Today I am announcing my resignation from Congress.
Well, after the New York Post revealed he's still tweeting suggestive pictures of himself to other women, this time with his toddler son next to him in bed, his wife and close Hillary Clinton aide Abedin finally had enough. She left him. What more can you say?
It is a shame! A shame!
Now, of course, much of our culture is driven by the premise of redemption. People will root for underdogs if they acknowledge their failures, if they take responsibility for them, if they apologize and resolve to change and grow. America is so forgiving, you can even smoke crack on video, go to prison, then win a race for mayor in our nation's capital.
And I'm going to leave here and go about the business of government.
But Anthony Weiner blew his shot at redemption over and over again. Come to think of it, we should be sending condolences, of course, to his wife.
I will not yield to the gentleman, and the gentleman will observe regular order. The gentleman will observe regular order.
And so Anthony Weiner continues to flame out long after he flamed out of Congress.
The gentleman will observe regular order and sit down. I will not. The gentleman will sit. The gentleman is correct in sitting.
Coming up, Alan Grayson is trying to pull off an upset here in Florida, so we'll drill into the Democratic Senate race between Grayson and Murphy. And our pollster Matt Towery shows us how race card politics could shake up the race for president. Well, our Fox 13 polling shows Senator Marco Rubio is way ahead of Carlos Baruf in the Republican Senate race. But the Democratic Senate race is a little closer, and Alan Grayson and Patrick Murphy have been hammering each other for months. Phil Keating shows us how this one is playing out.
If Democrats are going to retake control of the U.S. Senate, Florida's seat held by Republican Marco Rubio is considered a critical must-win. And the Democrats running to do just that include two sitting congressmen. Third-termer Alan Grayson and second-termer Patrick Murphy. Once a registered Republican, he calls himself fiscally conservative and socially progressive. He narrowly unseated GOP incumbent Allen West in 2012. Grayson's one of the most liberal members of Congress and famously belittled Republicans during the health care debate.
Don't get sick.
He's also been the subject of ethics investigations. For that, Senators Harry Reid and Chuck Schumer have asked him to drop out. Grayson's ex-wife also made domestic abuse claims against him, which Grayson staunchly denies.
26 Grayson bills passed the House, passed the Senate, were signed into law by the President of the United States. As far as I know, I don't think Patrick has even passed a single bill through the House. much less through the Senate or signed into law by the president. He's been a legislative zero. I think I've been a legislative hero.
Political fact checkers rate Grayson's legislative claims as inflated and mostly true.
I mean, that's Congressman Grayson. That's what he's known for, is a lot of bully and bluster and name calling.
Murphy supported by President Obama and the party establishment. He's been accused of inflating his resume and buying his way to Congress with family money.
And I'm proud of my voting record, protecting programs like Social Security and Medicare, protecting a woman's right to choose. You know, these are some of my top priorities. But at the same time, addressing climate change.
Political science professor Kevin Wagner says the biggest challenge for these Democrats versus Rubio is name recognition.
The good news for Murphy and even Grayson is they're not really that well known in the state, so they still have a chance to sort of build up, you know, how they want to be seen and what they want to be seen like.
Our pollster Matt Towery gives the edge in this race to Murphy, and our last Fox 13 poll shows Murphy and Rubio, were they to match up, tied within the margin of error. Coming up, Matt joins us to break down the numbers and look at changes in the presidential campaigns and the effect of race card politics. All right, please welcome our pollster, Matt Towery. Matt, in all the years that you've been surveying races, following them closely, have you ever seen a national race, let alone a state race, where one candidate calls the other literally a bigot, the other digs up video of a Klan leader embracing the other?
No, I mean, it just tells you how crazy this political year has been, Craig, and I don't think any of this is having an effect on the electorate. They're hurling these words in one direction and then the other. We've heard of the, quote, race card being played before. In fact, if you recall, Bill Clinton got very upset with Barack Obama and the media in South Carolina in 2008 when he felt like the race card was being played against him. Now, his wife has a TV commercial out there, or someone supporting him has a TV commercial out there that literally has pictures of folks in the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm shocked on both sides.
So give us a prediction of which way you think the needle will move, if it moves at all, between now and Labor Day.
I think it's just going to tighten because Secretary Clinton had a great advantage in all of the gaffes and mistakes that Trump was making. She's had a bad week in the last week with the email issue and the Clinton Foundation. But the media in this country, to be honest with you, they're not carrying it or able to explain it to a level that a lot of voters are really affected by it. So I think some voters are affected, but it's not enough to really change the race. The debates, as we've said many times, as we've talked together, Craig, the debates will decide this election. They will tee it up for who can bring it home in that final week or so.
Which takes us into late September. Matt, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Check out our YouTube channel for interviews with the candidates and a closer look at the races and issues. Search for Craig Patrick's Money, Power, and Politics and click subscribe. Tomorrow night, we'll go through the primary results and show you what it means for November. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night.